Alright, so we're working on the Massey Ferguson, and it's dark. It's 8:30, which sucks that it gets dark so early now, but it's the perfect time to show you what I got fixed. So let's get up in here, and I'll show you what I got. Okay, ooh, we got headlights, 2 headlights. Got blinky lights, 1 on each side. It didn't have one on the other side, so I made a bracket and added it. Headlights again. We got a grain bin light, which does a good job. And then I added this light. Shines off towards the back. It's a little LED light. I got the flash on, which is kind of screwing with the picture, but you see right there at the corner of the bin, that makes a big difference. And then I got one more. There's the switch. Come here, switch. I put this one on for the auger. There was one there, it was like this one. This is basically like a tail light, old style tail light with a white lens. Had one here, but it didn't light anything up. It was just there, so I added that little guy. But these are just regular headlamps. I didn't convert them to LED or nothing. But something else I found out cool. Check this out. The blower works. And this light did work. Oh, and there it goes. It does work. It's just temperamental. See? Temperamental. We got it rewired. Rewired the lights and everything. They worked before. I just didn't like how it was wired. It was real messy. It had spade connectors about every 5 feet from where the wires would break. He just spade connector them together. It was kind of dumb. But we have lights now. I was looking at the auto header control, and it does work somewhat. It's only got 1 finger on it, and looking in the manual, it's supposed to have fingers about every 6 inches, and guards, which are the pieces that were hanging down. But it's only got 1 finger and 2 guards, so that doesn't work very well. And this was designed to work with that auto header, so all I'll have to do is let it down and just pick it up to where I want it. So it'll only go down that far. Another thing I got to do, I got to move this reel back. So that means I'm going to have to take that spring off and slide the reel back, and then the spring's going to have to jump to the front. The reel's too far away. It won't throw the beans into the auger. You see I did a little trial, only a couple feet right here. Wasn't much. I don't see any beans on the ground, so that's good. I wonder if it ran beans last. You can see I was up into here. There's a couple beans in there. I didn't have it all the way to the ground. I was playing with it. You can see right up here, the reel actually hit the ground, shelled all them beans out of their pods. Kind of did through there too. Beans everywhere. We're still getting used to it, but I did find an issue. And you see there's a belt hanging here on a pulley. Remember that pulley that was wobbling? Well, I figured out why it was wobbling. The bearing is out on this side and the other side. But more interestingly enough, that's for the auger and the grain pan. When I ran the beans, I didn't hear anything going into the grain tank, and there was a reason for that. Yeah, here's the bearing that's bad on, which would be like the driver's side that the pulley's on, and this would be the bearing on the other side. It's shot, but the keyway slot for this is gone. broke right off. So it wasn't allowing it to go. So I got to either I'm going to try to do it, weld this up, grind it down, cut that with a cut-off wheel, and smooth that out or something, or see if a machine shop can do that, or just cut a keyway on the other side. This is a tapered shaft. A machine shop should be able to do that, but the flighting's good. Oops, it just needs them 2 bearings, and honestly I should be able to get them at Real King. I could probably even get flanges for this bearing at Real King. This bearing, I need to find a clean spot to set it down so you can see. I guess I'll just set it on the floor. This bearing, camera's in the wrong spot, is pressed in there. Press this out, which would be this piece. This was full of bean dust, and it doesn't spin very smooth, as you can tell. You see there's all kinds of bean dust in there, but it wobbles. You can hear it. I mean, it ain't super terrible, but it's bad enough I don't like it. I got it apart. I might as well change it, so I have to get that pressed out. I got a press over at my grandpa's. I just don't know how I'd go about it. Probably get a socket that would fit it and block up around the ears there and pull that out, but that's where we're at on the combine. The fuel tank, I did drain the fuel out of it. There was like a gallon or so, and the tank has like 2 inches of crud in the bottom of it, scaly rust, and like I looked down in there when the fuel was draining out and I didn't see any fuel, but there was still fuel running out. It was actually running under the crud, so the fuel tank needs cleaned. I'm gonna see if I can find a place that'll clean it for me, because it's pretty bad. If I can't get it done by the time I get everything else fixed, I'll just run it with a little auxiliary tank. I got a 3-gallon boat tank. I have to fill it up every couple of rounds, but hey, it's only 10 acres. We'll get her done. Be nice. That tank probably only holds 15 gallons, though. It's not a big tank either. But that's where we're at. I did get a manual for it. Finally came in the mail. $205 self-propelled combine. So, and I'm still having an issue with the, I hit the stupid lock button on my phone. I'm not used to this new phone yet, but I'm having problems with the unload auger staying out still. I haven't figured it out. The manual doesn't talk about it. The manual only talks about if you have the hydraulic option. And the way, I think I described it before, but I guess I'll go out and show you with the light, which ain't ideal, but that's what we got. What we have is, it's got, there's a hole right here. Okay, that's for the transport position. That's a pretty big hole. The pin seats in there. It's flush at the top here. Okay, what you do is you pull this and you swing it out. Okay, we're out. Whoop. And then that spring I don't think is supposed to hold tension on it, because if it had enough tension to hold it in position, you'd never be able to get it folded in. Ooh, if I could quit hitting that unlock button. But Coyote's back there, you hear him? Maybe you can hear him. But if that thing had enough tension to hold this auger straight, you'd never be able to get it down. But there's little detents up here. Let me try to roll it back to where you can see one. Okay, right here is a detent. Okay, that thing's like a 1/4 inch deep and not even big around as the pin is. But that's where it needs to be. And I have no idea why it won't latch in there and stay. It's kind of dumb. I mean, I flipped it out earlier and it would, like right there. Let's see. It kind of holds it, but just barely. I'm gonna let go. See? It's holding it. Okay, but if the wind hits it just right, it pulls away. I don't know anything about it. I don't imagine there's too many people out there that do know anything about it, because a lot of people never even heard of a 205 combine. The 300s had a different mechanism. I mean, about the only thing I could think of that would work is if I made some kind of a bracket to take place of this. Just fold it down and lock it, and then when I fold it up, put me a piece in there that will hold it or something. I don't really know, because as soon as you go to turn it on, when you turn the unload auger on, there's a bearing missing there. Like, it's not even there. You see that? My phone has a heartbeat. That's weird. Yeah, there's not even a bearing there. Huh. Interesting. Maybe there's not supposed to be one there, because there's one here. There's probably not supposed to be a bearing there, but I bet there's supposed to be like a dust cover or something. Man, here comes the auger. I'm gonna smash my head. But when you turn the unload auger on for the bin, it powers this, and then it dumps into here, and so on and so forth. It's not like a gleaner where it's got a universal joint. It just, I got my camera backwards. It just dumps in here and then powers that. How did it tape get in there? From the grain bin when I was putting lights in, fell in there. Shoot. I know I'm making you guys sick. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Come on now. Don't know what I'm going to do about this thing. But I need to figure something out, because that's an important part of the combine, getting your crop out. So, but anyways, there's what's been going on with the combine, and we have a few more things to do, and then hopefully it'll run beans. So anyways, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.